Once upon a time there lived an old man, who lived in a village. He had a son whom he loved a lot. He used to work very hard in the jungle. He used to cut woods, and sell it to the shops in the market, and earn money to feed his family. He loved his family and fulfilled every desire of his son. He taught him and gave him gifts. When his son grew up and became a teenager, he spent a lot of time running around with his friends. These friends of his taught him a lot of evil things. He began to rob his family and spend everything in riotous living. He used to spend his days in drugs and gambling. He forgot the love that his father used to have for him. The love of the father was darkened by the pleasures of the world. He forgot everything about the love of the father. Yet his father waited for his son every day, but he never came back. One day his son was drinking at liquor house, and his father saw him. The father went back to his house. His son slept in the streets as he was high on liquor. The father returned to the liquor house, yet he was far. He saw his son and kissed him, hugged him and put his head on his chest and made him sleep, and spoke him the words of love. That night the son was little bit conscious and saw his father loving over him, but he was unable to speak because he was under the influence of alcohol. The father left before it was early morning. Next morning the son woke up and gained his senses, and began to remember the last night. He remembered that his father came to him, and he also had the flashes of his father crying and him sleeping over his chest the whole night. The son began to sob and cried a lot. Every day the sense of his father's love would strongly occupy him, and he would cry every day, remembering the night when his father laid him on his chest and made him sleep. The moment when his father hugged him made him break all the addictions. Now he was sober and peaceful. His life changed with one moment of his father's love. He remembered all the days of his childhood and his father's lavish love. Now he wanted to go back to his house and his father, but all the wrongdoings never let him get back to his house. One day he decided to back to his father, but his father was now on deathbed. He was so ill and could not recover from his illness because the family had no money, and no one to earn. The son sat close to his father, and was regretting and sighing near his bed. He decides to now work for his father, and bring him medicine and nutrition. The man went out and did the most menial work of gleaning in the fields. All that he gleaned, he sold in the market and brought doctor to him, and gave him fruits and nutrition. The son worked in the fields continuously, and his master noticed him working very sincerely. The master was happy and gave him a great sum of money and asked him to till his lands from now. All the money he spent in his father's healing, and gave him the best nutrition. The sight of his beloved son made the father recover faster. One day the father asked the son, why did he return back home? The son said to the father, when he loved me, and laid him on his chest that night, I felt your love all over again. He found out that peace and safety is in the bosom of the father. The father hugged his 25-year-old son, and he would hug his son every day. The love of the father made the rebellious son to prosper, and his father lived a good old life, at the sight of beloved son and his marvelous glory.